5 ጨርስ ወይስ
First of all, thank you for giving me this opportunity. My name is Kalkidan Getachew and I'm the representative of Group 5. So our topic is about benefits and characteristics of critical thinking. So as an objective, we are going to see throughout our presentation, we are going to see the benefits of critical thinking, the characteristics of critical thinking, and in this topic we are going to see some examples in real life scenarios, and also we are going to see the relationship between critical thinking and creativity. These two are like different ideas, but they have a link between them, so we are going to talk about the link, and at last we are going to see the role of critical thinking in intellectual independence and empowerment. So as an introduction, before proceeding in my presentation, we need to know about what critical thinking is. And critical thinking is the bedrock of rational inquiry, analytical problem solving, and informed decision making, which means that it's a systematic examination of ideas, concepts, and also an argument in a clear mindset. So in a critical thinking, we will be able to unravel complexity, challenge assumptions, and also sift through information in order to arrive at well-reasoned conclusions. Okay, the first thing is the benefits of critical thinking. Critical thinking is essential in a world of information and in diverse opinion. It helps us to see things more clearly and avoid mislead or being deceived. So critical thinking is crucial in various aspects, which means in our education, in our professional career, and also in our relationship in different areas. So in order to see the main points, the first thing is it enhances problem solving skills. So when we say it enhances problem solving skills, it encourages individual to see problems in different angles and in different perspectives, which is we would have a likelihood of finding the real solution to our problem. So as an example, we can see Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein often say that I'm not a smart person, but I often focus on my problem longer. So that's what makes me more, smarter than everyone else. So in the second, it enhances decision making. When we decide on some matters, we should always rely on facts. We should not be affected on emotions or like any external factors. So in this topic, we should follow the 5 distinct steps, which is we should ask, access, appraise, apply, and also audit. When we say ask, we should ask anything that's coming to us. We should ask any information, the question why, in order to be a good decision maker. And when we say access, we need to have a different kind of access to have the information that we need to decide about. And when we say appraise, it's all about picking the quality or a qualified information about some distinct topic. And when we say audit, it's about inspection, the pros and the cons of the ideas. And when we say apply, we need to be a decision maker person, so it's about just applying our decision. So we need to gather relevant information. So the third one is more effective communication. So critical thinking makes us to solve problems more clearly and effectively communicating with others. So when a person is use critical thinking, he or she is able to articulate her or his thought clearly, and they are going to be able to listen actively and engage in a respectful dialogue. And the other one is the characteristics of critical thinking. As I said before, the characteristics of critical thinking lie in the range of the 5A. As I mentioned before, it's asking questions, defining a problem, examining evidences, analyzing assumption and biases, and also the main thing is avoiding oversimplification, and also not tolerating like ambiguity. So the first thing we are going to see is curiosity. So being curious is necessary for critical thinkers, managers, or leaders. It's like a deeper knowledge of, like it's being interested around, about a common idea. It's like asking the background of a common idea, why it's happening. So a curious person is like, they know that they do not know everything that's happening in the world, so they are open to know a new thing. So curiosity is the characteristics of critical thinking. And the third one is skepticism. Skepticism, it has a couple of meanings, but based on our topic, I'm going to tell you this definition, which is a doubt as to the truth of something. So to put it simply, or to make it understandable, skepticism means like, for example, if I ask you if you have stolen anything, if you say no, and if you hesitate a little bit, there's a doubt in your answer. So it's like it's unlikely to be a truth. So skepticism is about doubt as a truth. So skepticism is also one of the characteristics of critical thinking, which is it's essential for reasoning, and also it helps to avoid pitfalls and biases in our decision making. So it's avoid false conclusion. And the third one is intellectual humility. Intellectual humility involves recognizing that there are gaps in one's knowledge, because there are different various things that we humans can't know, because no one is perfect in this world. So the study of intellectual humanity has shown that recognizing our own limitation and our willingness to fill the gap that we have. So when we come to the examples and case studies of critical thinking, as I mentioned before, I picked the most easiest one to make more like relevant my explanation, which is the ethics of animal testing. In this case, we need to think critically, because we can't say that it's a disadvantage or it's advantage to evaluate that if animal testing is an ethical thing to do or not. So it is a topic that needs our critical thinking. And the other one is like impacts of technology on education. We can see in two different aspects, which is like it can help us to learn more efficiently, and also on the other side there are also content in the technology that's not related to our education that might affect our learning process. So we need to think critically to know what's the pros and what's the cons in this concept. In real life scenarios, this is the best that I can get, which is about the engineers. It's a matter of life, which is when we come to engineers, they need to think critically in order to know, in order to avoid some hazardous situation. Because if they can't think critically, if they are not a critical thinker, there might be a death in the sites, so workers would be affected and their reputation would be also affected in the same time. When we come to the relationship between critical thinking and creativity, as I said before, critical thinking and creativity are two different things, but they are intertwined. They are fields of the other. Critical thinking involves like analyzing and evaluating ideas which can inspire creative solution, and on the other hand, creativity is expand perspective, enriching the critical process. So this is the main thing, but together they make a dynamic duo and they enhance our critical thinking more efficiently. So the process of critical thinking is one of that's based on the utilization of cognition to perform a constructive analysis on the list of possibilities. So with the aim of eliminating the unlikely, it's happened or what might not happen. So creativity is something that's inherent in individually, as I mentioned in the PPT, and based on the level of inspiration the individual may be undergoing at given moment. So as such, the connection between critical thinking and creativity is related to the ability of one individual to marshal the various creative ideas and also that are generated during the creative process until the individual is able to select the path to follow in order to arrive at desired outcome. So at last, we are going to see the role of critical thinking in intellectual ability and empowerment. As I mentioned before, thinking clearly and systematically can improve the way we express our ideas in learning how to analyze the logical structure of text. And critical thinking also improves our ability, our comprehension ability. So it promotes creativity to generalize my idea. So to come up with a creative solution to a problem, we should involve some new ideas in our life. So critical thinking is a key to creating independence and encouraging students to make their own decision from their own opinions. Okay, as a conclusion, I would like to say that critical thinking is more than just important in one of the most crucial cognitive things that we can develop. I try to show you like what's the meaning of critical thinking, the characteristics, the benefits that we have in our life, in different aspects of our lives, and also I try to explain with the real life scenarios that would make an impact in our life. So by practicing well thought out thinking, our thoughts or decision making can make a positive change in the world and it can change our life. As a reference, these are all that we use, but as a recommendation, I would like to recommend you the book Think Fast and Slow by Daniel, and it would really make my point of view or more clear to you if you read the book, and also the Master of Critical Thinking for Teens. It's written by Jake, and it would really help you in improving your decision making as we are teens and we are in the phase of our life which needs different kinds of decision. Thank you for attention.
Very good. Eye contact and self-expression. Expression, right? Not just simply reading the PowerPoint, but try to express it in her own words, right? That's a very strong part of her presentation. Nice. Kebron, listen. Tell me what is the objective of your paper?
Okay, on our presentation we have tried to discuss about the benefits and the characteristics of critical thinking. The benefits of critical thinking are it enhances decision making and problem solving, and also helps us to develop critical adaptability or critical abilities.
What are some key benefits of developing strong critical thinking skills?
Okay, the benefits of improving our strong critical thinking is, for example, when we face issues or problems, we ought to solve them by critically thinking, not being on emotions and other factors that influence us at the moment, but or rather on factors and what needs to be done at the moment.
Example situation where critical thinking skill have directly led to positive outcome.
Okay, the positive outcome, for example, when we think of a doctor tries to help his patients, and in medicine, he needs to critically or see the problem of the individual which came to for a treatment. For example, if he has a depression or something like emotionally, and we need to tell him the facts or the truths that he needed to listen. For example, as she mentioned earlier, in construction, an engineer should consider the consequences, the pros and cons of not using a helmet, for example, and he should suggest by critically thinking, he should suggest the workers for their safety to use helmets. Another question we have.
Kanan Ayali. Tell me what is the objective, general purpose of this assignment?
So the objective and general idea of our assignment is to talk about the characteristics of an individual which have critical thinking and the benefits of critical thinking in our daily lives, in our professional and personal context, and overall about the benefits and the use and how to cultivate our critical thinking skills.
Okay, what are the common characteristics or trait exhibited by individual with a strong critical thinking abilities?
A person who has high critical thinking appears to be more creative than a usual person because they usually think outside the box. They don't usually own a box, so they appear to be more creative, and they have analytical thinking, so they can think of complex things and they can break them out and analyze the things that they are thinking, and they can consume them. And then the other thing is they are curious and they are open-minded, so they are always seeking for knowledge and developing their thinking. And when we say they are open-minded, they are open for different perspectives that they don't know, so they can fill in the gaps that they have. And the other thing is they are objective. They have high objectivity and skepticism. They have a good degree of skepticism while approaching a new idea or problem, so they can ask a critical question, so they can clearly understand. So we know, like, critical thinking is more about clarity and solving problems.
Uncritical thinkers.
What?
Characteristics of uncritical thinkers.
Uncritical thinkers, they usually generalize things. They are not open-minded. They usually stick to the thing they are used to rather than being open-minded and taking new ideas. Also, they are not that usually creative because they are not good at problem solving. Their approaches are weaker than critical thinkers because, yeah. Thank you.
Tell me about paper objectives.
Characteristics of critical thinking, benefits of critical thinking, the relationship between critical thinking and creativity, and the role of critical thinking for intellectual empowerment.
How can you mention characteristics of critical thinker and uncritical thinker?
Okay, characteristics of critical thinkers. The first one is skepticism. Skepticism is doubt of truth. Yeah. And it leads us to accurate conclusion.
What are the characteristics of uncritical thinkers?
Okay, uncritical thinkers are not open-minded. They are not. They have not the skill of analysis, and they make. They usually make emotionally biased conclusions. Let's see.
Alkitan Moges, see you. Alkitan Moges. Kaplan, tell me about the general objective purpose of your paper assignment. What was your purpose?
Benefits of critical thinking, characteristics, and the difference between critical thinking and creativity.
What's the difference between critical thinking and creativity?
Okay. Critical thinking means to analyze, to see things or ideas effectively, and creativity means think out of the box or invent new things.
Which one is part of the other? Creativity or critical thinking?
Creativity is a part of critical thinking.
What are some characteristics of critical and non-critical thinking?
Okay, critical thinkers are curious. They wanted to know about the world around them. They want to know deeper. And the other is intellectual humility. They think their perspective is one of others, or the perspective that they have may not be true. Is intellectual humility. And the other is skepticism. Skepticism, it's a critical thinker's habit or characteristics. It means if there is a doubt, in that thing that must be questionable. Okay, but uncritical thinkers are not curious, are not open-minded, and they see their ideas are the true one and the better.
How does critical thinking contribute to effective problem solving?
Okay, by using our critical thinking, by analyze and to think in different perspective, and also by learning and by ready to be learned and gaining the knowledge, it helps to good decision.
Collaboration. Tell me what was the
The purpose of our assignment was to clarify the benefits of critical thinking and to explain some characteristics of critical thinking. We try briefly to express the benefits of critical thinking, which were to enhance our decision-making skills, also problem-solving mechanisms, and also effective communication. Okay. Firstly, critical thinkers are people who tend to use rational thinking instead of irrational or emotional thinking, and also they try to analyze relevant evidences, and also are open-minded for new ideas, unlike uncritical thinkers who are usually rational or irrational, and most likely swayed by emotions instead of relevant evidences. Shall I continue?
Yes.
And also, most of the times their decision-making skills and problem-solving skills are lacking, and also they are not open-minded to new ideas. Instead, they use conventional or normal ideas without thinking out of the box. So, some examples. Some examples, by taking it to a global scale, the issue of global warming is a very hard issue for us currently. So we as human beings are gathered together and analyzed some relevant evidences to stop emission of emission of greenhouse gases, which was the Paris Agreement. We as a species were as human species gathered together and analyzed the evidences and stopped oversimplifying the issue, and finally we were able to decide this matter.
Okay, the first one is the importance of the critical thinking. Critical thinking is important in our day-to-day life, in academic, in societal, and in personal life. And the second one is the characteristics of critical thinkers, and the critical thinker. The first one is they are open-minded nature, and the third one is their skepticism and curiosity and intellectual humanity. Intellectual humanity. በአማርኛ እንትን ፉል ነኝ ብለው አያስቡም እነሱ። ፉል እንትን ናቸው። ስለ ሌላ ነገር እንደሚቀራቸው ብዙ ነገር ያውቃቸዋል። እንደዛ ብለው ነው የሚያስቡ። they are not open-minded ናቸው, and they don't think and wait. Okay.
It's about what is critical thinking and its benefit, and what's critical thinking characteristics and traits.
Can I mention some characteristics of critical thinkers?
They are logical reasoners. They have the ability to make sound and fact-based judgment and decision, by applying rules and rules of critical thinking and reasoning.
Uncritical thinkers. Characteristics.
They don't have logical reasoning. They are based on their emotions. And
Can I mention more examples?
they are not curious to know about what's going on around them.
Characteristics, not the consequence. Examples of situation where critical thinking is a positive outcome in our life.
Positive outcome.
In our life.
Can I give?
Examples of situations.
Okay. For example, a lawyer that using a critical thinking skills to analyze a case and legal strategies. It makes him a positive outcomes in court.
ቃል ኪዳን ጌታሁን ቃል ኪዳን ጌታሁን what do you understand from verse 17?
Okay, the thing that I understand from the given assignment is the way how we critically think and the benefit of critical thinking and the effect of critical thinking in our life to be a successful person and to have a peaceful life.
Can you mention some common barriers, characteristics of uncritical thinkers?
Okay, they are not open-minded, which is they are not open to the new idea or information, and they are not skeptic, and their judgment is based on subjective or their personal idea. No, uncritical. Okay. So critical thinkers are open-minded and they are skeptic and they are honest, which is if they doesn't know the thing, they are honest to the other persons, and they are patient to invest the information that they that it create confusion in their idea.
You can give example of situation where critical thinking positively impact our life.
Okay, in the healthcare, it helps the physicians to treat and diagnose the patient in accurate and appropriate way. For engineering, it helps the civil engineer to decide whether the area is suitable for their construction and for their idea. And for the merchants, it helps them to evaluate the merchant trends or the trade system, and to have a good communication with the customers.